Welcome back, warriors of history, to your favorite military history channel, the place where the battles of the past come alive. Today, we march forward into the gripping tale of the 1962 war, diving into Chapter 5, Part 1. If you're new here, join our ranks by hitting that subscribe button, give us a like, and share this with fellow history buffs. Alright soldiers, gear up. Let's begin today's journey into one of the most pivotal chapters of the conflict. September 1962. In the frozen heights of the Himalayas, the world was unaware that history's clock was ticking toward war. Here, in the remote Nam Ka Chu valley, a small Assam Rifles post at Dhola stood watch, unaware that it was about to become the trigger point for a conflict that would change India and China forever. This was the first shot of the 1962 war. Early September 1962. High in the unforgiving heights of the Himalayas, the air was thin, but the tension was thick. In the remote Nam Ka Chu valley, far from the world's gaze, a spark was about to ignite a storm. A lonely Assam Rifles post at Dhola, soon to become the flashpoint of a conflict that would alter the course of history. A chill wind swept over Thagla Ridge, carrying more than just the bite of mountain air. A Chinese patrol appeared, crossing the ridge, their claim clear. Dhola was on their side of the border. The Indian commander stood firm. No retreat, no compromise. The Chinese pulled back, but the silence that followed was heavier than gunfire. 2 days later, they came back, 60 armed Chinese soldiers, moving with purpose. Panic gripped the Dhola post. Over the crackle of the radio, a trembling voice reported the unthinkable. 600 Chinese were advancing. It wasn't true, but those words lit the fuse on a chain reaction that could no longer be stopped. The panic report triggered immediate action. From quiet peace postings, troops were rushed to the icy frontier. Brigadier John Dalvi, pulled from leave, now headed for the heights. Battalion after battalion began the long, punishing march toward the border, unaware of the storm they were walking into. The road to the front ran through Sela Pass, 13,700 feet above sea level, where the air was thin, the cold unrelenting. They had no winter clothing, only determination and orders. Freezing rain turned every step into agony. The thin air burned their lungs, forcing some to cough, and even vomit blood from the strain. But through it all, not one man broke rank. Not one fell behind. When Brigadier John Dalvi finally reached the front, the truth revealed itself in brutal clarity. From every ridge, Chinese positions looked down upon Dhola, their guns able to strike at will. The post had no strategic value, no natural cover, only the promise of sacrifice. Dalvi knew at once, holding it would mean certain death for his men. Far from the icy heights, in the corridors of power in Delhi, a different battle was being fought. Defense Minister Krishna Menon and Eastern Army Commander Bogey pressed for a bold move, an outright attack codenamed Operation Leghorn. The order was issued on 12 September 1962, bypassing the usual chain of command and setting events on a dangerous, irreversible course. In the thin, unpredictable air of the high Himalayas, even supply lines became a gamble with fate. Dakota aircraft rode low over jagged peaks, releasing lifelines strapped to parachutes. But the mountains had other plans. As many as 40% of the parachutes never opened. Precious ammunition and rations hurtled into deep, unreachable ravines, lost forever. On the ground, men watched helplessly as their survival tumbled away into the abyss. Then came the next blow. The maps themselves were wrong. Lines on paper bore no resemblance to the savage, unforgiving ground before them. The routes marked as passable were cliffs. The trails, death traps. But in Delhi, the decision had already been made. No matter the chaos, no matter the odds, the attack would go on. For days, the front line was no more than a few planks of wood stretched across icy water. Across these bridges, enemies locked eyes, sometimes hurling threats. sometimes trading cigarettes in a strange, fragile truce. Every step, every glance, felt like it could spark the war. Then, 20th September, the calm shattered. The first shots had been fired. By late September, the decision in Delhi was final. The Chinese must be evicted from the heights, even if it meant war in Ladakh. There would be no more hesitation. The storm was no longer on the horizon. It was here, and with it, the first chapter of a war that would change the Himalayas forever. And with that, we come to the end of Chapter 5, Part 1 of our journey through the 1962 war. Stay tuned for Part 2, where the story pushes deeper into the heart of the conflict. If you've been enjoying this series, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share it with fellow history enthusiasts. Friends, our notes to military history have now been launched, your perfect companion to follow the videos and understand each battle in detail. Book your soft copy today. Call the number on your screen to get yours. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And as always, Jai Hind.